Oh, what's up, you all? So, welcome. I don't know why, you all. I can articulate myself on videos, but when it comes to live streams, I can't articulate at all. But I do get my point across. So, that's the good part. So, I want to talk about this, you all. I want to talk about Trice TV. Trice TV. Because she hella raggedy, you all. And when something or someone is a mess, I gotta call it out most of the time. If it's just ridiculous, okay? Now, sometimes I do man my business, believe it or not. And with content creators beef back and forth, I stay out of it because I do like a lot of different content creators and stuff that don't like each other. But I've been knew Treese TV was a raggedy ass bitch, you all. I'm just gonna be honest. By her interaction with Sammy. And what she's done to Madgie has confirmed that she just a gutter snipe bitch, which is something I did realize with the issue that she had with Sammy. So let me just say, I don't watch the Quality Queen. I just don't after the situation with her Love Jones. And I really thought that Sammy was a hater because when Love Jones called her out, it was just like Sammy was like hating on Love Jones. It wasn't a good reason why she didn't like Love Jones. It just didn't make sense to me. But one thing I can say is that when I watched the Quality Queen them 3 times, the Quality Queen loved her child. The Quality Queen, she's a good mother. So you can say whatever about her, but one thing people can't say is that she's not a good mother. Because she talks about her child often. Like the streams I was in, a Quality Queen, she talked about her child often. She made sure her child ate good. You could tell she has a love for her child. And she's upset that people are talking about her child, which is very understandable. Because who wouldn't be upset when someone is coming for one of your loved ones? It just makes sense, right? So when Treese TV was talking about Sammy Child, I just couldn't rock with that. Because I was like, you making fun of her child being autistic. You got a picture of him jumping up with the headphones for sensory. I don't find any of that funny. And you all, see, sometimes I just get into deep thinking. And we don't know. Treese TV could be jealous of Sammy simply because Sammy loves her child. You know what? It's people out here like that, you all. It's people out here that are envious of the relationships people have with their child simply because they don't have it with their child. And this will really, okay. So after that, I had a bad taste about Trees, but a lot of people I like were watching her. So I watched one other video, and this was the last video I watched of her. And I couldn't even be in the stream because I'm like, bitch, if you ain't addressing this, something not right. So somebody had asked her about something Danny had posted regarding an issue that she had with her child. Like something happening to her child that was not good, it was bad. And her mod response was, oh, we don't bring up the robot's name in this chat. And the accusation, the thing that the person was asking her about, because when I'm in people's streams, I like to watch the chat. So the thing that the person was asking her about needed to be addressed. I'm sorry, you all, because that was just a strong accusation. Me personally, if somebody asked me if something had happened to my child, okay, I would be like, no, who told you that bullshit? Or, yeah, it happened because just because something happened to your child doesn't make you a bad parent. Sometimes you trust the wrong people. Or I would have been like, yes, that happened, but I don't want to talk about it. But just note that it was handled accordingly. I didn't let that shit slide. I handled it. Point blank, period. But to not address it at all and be like, oh, we don't address the robot name in here. It was just like, okay, I can't rock with this because you was just talking about Sammy. You was talking about Sammy Child. So could it be that you're jealous of Sammy? Because Sammy did something that you never seen, which was protect and show love to her child. Could that be it? Maybe she come from a situation because she was talking about how something happened to her. And I don't want to go into that because I don't find it funny, that people are doing this to children at all. Or something, something unjust happened to somebody. No, that's not okay with me. But it could be a situation where it happened to her, it happened to her mother or her brother or whoever, and it happened to her child. And she wants to hurt Sammy because Sammy is doing something that she never witnessed, which is somebody protecting and loving a child. Because the 3 times I seen Sammy, I was like, okay, yeah, she loved her child. I wish she wasn't a hater of Love Jones because, hell, I would support her. And one thing I like about Love Jones, people say little different things about her, but Love Jones is cool as hell. When she got into it with Golden, Love Jones was like, she said a lot about Golden. But one thing she said was Golden was a good mother. She did not down Golden's child in any type of way. And I like that because I don't like when people go to attacking people, family members. It's just certain things should be off limits because a person who went for my child, they're going to live a lifetime of misery because they did too much. And I understand people going low because when someone is disrespecting someone you love and you care about and you will, get unalive for, that's hurtful if they're being very disrespectful and clowning your child. And believe it, some people do stuff out of jealousy. It's people that sit up there and they'll talk about people's relationship with their parents because they don't have a good relationship with their parents. Like, my relationship with my mom is not the best at times. My mama Gemini, crazy as hell. You know what I'm saying? But my friends have good relationships with their mothers all the time. And I appreciate that. Why? Because I'm not a hater. But people could be jealous of the relationships that you have with your siblings. People could be jealous of the relationships that you have with your child. And they could feel like, hell, it's a lot of stuff that happened to me. It's a lot of stuff that happened to my child, and it can make them envious. Some people bitter like that and they got a vengeful spirit that if they see that how you loved your child, how you won't allow anything to happen to your child, it can make them jealous where they always picking on your child. And you don't know why they picking on your child. You're like, why the hell they always picking on my child? Why they always talking about my child, calling my child slow, making fun of my child when something happened? It could be because they had something. They seen something in you that they never seen in no one else that's in their family. Okay? That happens for real, you all. So I feel like it was just real tacky of Trice TV to be talking about Quality Queen when it's some allegations going on about you like that and you didn't address. And I know Quality Queen, I know Trice TV is cool with Kimmy. And I like me some Kimmy. But hell, you gotta call a spade a spade. Now, I seen the interaction that Kimmy had with Sammy. And I guess she said something about Sammy in the past. But do you know Kimmy apologized to Sammy? And Sammy don't have to accept her apology. I get that. Like, if somebody do something to you and you feel like it's super unjust and you don't want to accept it, that's your right. But Kimmy understood what she went wrong and she apologized. And the conversation went left, you all. And I think Kimmy ended up like cussing out, like, bitch, bye. I forget how it exactly went. But, Kimmy did apologize, and whatever Kimmy said must have been very hurtful. And Quality Queen really wasn't accepting the apology. You know what I'm saying? And that's her right or whatnot. But I respect Kimmy for knowing that she was wrong for that. Because if I would have came for somebody's child, said something crazy, about someone's family, I would be like, you know what? I was tacky as hell for that. And they might accept my apology, and they might not. But I just couldn't go through life just knowing that I just came for somebody's child just talking crazy or a family member unjustly. But that's just me. So I had a bad taste when it came to Trice because of that. So when I was in Maggie's stream and she was talking about Trice making fun of her and telling her to unalive herself and jump off a bridge. I was like, yeah, that's that gutter snipe shit. And I was happy that I wasn't supporting Treese. I was like, damn, I'm happy I ain't fucking support that stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? And let me just say, I love the owl. Support whoever you want to support. But I mean, me personally, I couldn't support Treese after what she did to Madgie, and how she came at the quality queen child when the quality queen, even though I find her I see her as a hater due to her and the Love Jones situation. And I feel like too, she kind of hyped Golden up, because I feel like Golden would have went hard if it wasn't for Sammy. When I was watching the video that Love Jones was playing. But one thing you can't say is that Sammy don't love her child. And if you talking about people's children, you should really have your shit together with your child. Because that sounds like some jealousy shit to me. If you coming at people's children, you know what I'm saying? And you couldn't protect your own. Or you didn't do right by your own by getting your child the justice that they deserve. Because should no child have to go through that. So if you didn't care enough to protect your own and get justice for your own when something like that occurred, you need to shut the fuck up talking about other people's children. So I just looked at Treese as a gutter snipe with that situation with her and Sammy. So when I was hearing Madgie say that Treese had told her to jump off a bridge, 3 bridges and stuff, and she thought it was hilarious. See, Treese is one of them mentally unstable bitches. This is a real gutter snipe hoe. You got to be real careful around people like that. That's some gutter snipe type of energy. I can't be around that, because let me tell you too, we don't know if some of that negative energy at the time that Kimmy said whatever about the Sammy woman children, if she was hanging around Treese got a dark ass energy. Sometimes that shit rub off on you. When you talking and you kicking it with people that got that dark ass energy, and they just keep having that dark ass energy, everything about them is dark, sometimes it just rub off on you. And when you're a person of the light, you look back and you be like, damn, I shouldn't have been hanging with this bitch. Damn, I shouldn't have been indulging in that. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I should have went back. Maybe I should have went about it this way and stuff like that. That's why I'm careful about who I'm around. And in the real world too. Because I learned some people have dark energy. Because I would do that whole, accept everybody and everything, everybody different and blase and this and that. But I realized some people have an extremely dark energy, and it could rub off on you. So when Madgie was saying that Treese told her to unalive herself, I was like, yeah, I'm so happy I didn't support that gutter snipe ass bitch. Because let me tell you, Madgie is the reason why I knew who Treese was, because Madgie was promoting her in the chat. Because Madgie ain't no hater. When people come in her chat, when people come on her channel, let me tell you, Madgie shares the wealth and she support the people. And the owls will go over there and donate. They'll always be in the chats. They'll be hitting the like button and stuff like that. They are supportive. But let me tell you, this is an example that sometimes when people are too gutter snipe, they aren't worth your support. Especially like people that's a wild card, like a Treese. You can't trust no hoe that's a wild card, you all. That's too much of a wild card. But I just wanted to talk about that. I might do a live stream and we could just kick back later. I don't know, you all. But at the same time, I did have a lot of bots in my last video. So I don't know. I don't know, you all. Let me know. But yeah, just the whole attacking people's family. Even if someone came at just different people that's getting into it with Madgie family, I would find that, raggedy. I'm not gonna lie, you all. I would find that raggedy. Because certain things should just be off limits. It's people like me out here that if you sit up here and go after somebody's family hard enough, you might just get what you're looking for. And you might cash a check that your ass in the future can't cash, simply because I'm the type of person. I might not get you now. I might not get you a year from now. I might not get you 3 years from now. I might not get you 5 years from now. But if you got that extremely vengeful gutter spirit and you keep going under, you dox my child or something like that, you keep talking about my child, and you just going and going and going to the point where you don't know how to stop, you might get what you're looking for. And I'm going to do it when you least expect. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to have so many beefs with people at that time because you got a vengeful spirit. You ain't even going to know it's coming from me. So people should stop doing that. Because everybody don't like to play them type of games. Everybody don't, you talking about jump off a building, do this, that. I hope that Madgie really starts seeing these disgusting people for who they are. And she just cut the ties. See, certain people, you got to see their spirit. You can't support everybody. Deuces. And Madgie got a good heart, man. Peace out.